new roles that are emerging in the payroll industry at the moment. So with these integrated solutions, HRIS and payroll solutions, and more complex rostering and time solutions, there's a growth in system specialists that actually sit within payroll, HR, and HR functions, sometimes in finance too. And they are basically managing, controlling those systems, monitoring for compliance, communicating with internal and external stakeholders, and trying basically to mitigate the need to constantly go to consultants and, pay a dividend for a report, which they can generate themselves, right? So it makes sense. These systems cost a lot of money. You're talking like 200 grand a month for some HRIS systems, millions of dollars a year. So the fact that companies are investing in these systems, is a big undertaking, especially when we're in this type of economic climate. We also have the end of life of Preceda in early 2026, the most widely used Australian payroll system. That's seismic earthquakes in the payroll industry at the moment, and especially if you're paying for something like a Workday or a SuccessFactors, and the trend obviously of Ceridian, who purchased Ascender and are driving and rebranding Dayforce as a result as their product. The challenge is, like, if you already spent a considerable amount of investment in one of those other products, how do you integrate them? Like, how do you solve a problem like Dayforce? And often, I know there's a special connector coming out next year between Workday and Dayforce, which one of my technical consultants was talking to me about. I know there's challenges in terms of the SuccessFactors ECP integration. I know there's a new SAP HANA product coming out in 2027, so a new SAP payroll product. So it's all positive and lots going on. But that's one of the key roles that's really, a new generation role, I would say, in payroll, and also kind of also being integrated into the roles of heads of payroll, right? Like, they're now, systems leads as well. Often, the titles of positions will change, and titles are semantics. Like, companies make them up, right? Like, to their own at their own volition. But you get like payroll and systems manager or payroll and systems lead, and that just shows you how these roles have evolved to focus more on technology. The other major one is actually heads of payroll governance. So you talk to some, very talented and technical payroll managers, and they're like, "That's my job." And yes, it is your job, but also it's have a compliance lead within your function. Like, I think of a client I deal with regularly, and I placed the head of payroll governance recently. Like 10,000 employees, 100 enterprise agreements. Like, that information, can exist, that the burden of that can exist with one person. So having a governance SME, subject matter expert, to manage all of that and to be updating in real time when compliance changes happen, not just changes to awards and agreements, but also changes to, like, for example, the just increase from the 1st of July. We have payday super, looming on the horizon, like some harbinger of the apocalypse, to be honest, because it's just after the end of life of Preceda in early 2026. So, with all of that consideration, I think that having a governance role is important, and you don't have to have that, like, level of complexity in terms of your legislation in order to require one. It's something I would definitely strongly consider.